Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the microstructures for BTC, taking a look at what Bitcoin has been up to recently and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe. Tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications will mean that you will not miss another video update. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's just jump right down into this video, keep it nice and brief and on point this morning. So we are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the 1 hour chart, with Binance being our data source. We're going to start things off with the Elliott wave and then jump on over into the smart money. And if we get time, we might scale things up into that weekly just to kind of give you the idea of where support and resistances are at the weekly level. But for now, we'll focus on these micro structures. So as we kind of zoom in right in here, okay, we can see that we did hit the kind of expectations that we were talking about yesterday, which essentially was a move up into this 50 to 88.2% retracement zone. This was $27,255 to $27,566. In fact, we only really just had a small wick in here going up to the $27,286 range, and that was enough to meet the requirements. We can remove that one there off. So we can see that we came right into the yellow box. Then started to slip back down again, and we do have a very interesting overlapping structure here, and then we push back up, and now we're slipping back down again. Okay, there's some interesting things and development-wise that is going on within here. To me, this looks like we are in some form of corrective structure overall, even though we are looking for a fifth wave movement to the downside. This can happen from a couple of different reasons. One, we have not yet finished wave 4, and we still have higher to push. Okay, so it's possible that we do visit this higher range. Okay, this one being 27,765 to 28,060. Okay, so there's always that as a possibility, so we should be mindful of that. And that we'll get confirmation that that's not the case only when we come down lower than our wave 3, which is down here. I'll just put a line on there. So it's $25,811. Okay. Ultimately, our fifth wave target range is still down here at 24,791 to 25,418. Okay, that hasn't changed. So our fifth wave target is set. Our fourth wave could or could not be done yet. We don't know. We'll just have to kind of see how that kind of plays out in a moment. We'll jump down into these microstructures and see what the probability of completion here is. And of course, there's a couple of different options that we could be looking for our fifth wave movement. We could be looking for an expanding diagonal, a contracting diagonal, an ending diagonal, okay, as well as that 5 wave impulsive movement that you would also see within that fifth wave movement. These can also truncate, which means they could fall short of those targeted ranges down here on this fifth wave movement. But ultimately, let's go ahead and take a look at the structure and see what's going on, because it doesn't look like we're getting 5 impulsive wave movements in here. So what I'd do is I'm going to go down into a 15-minute. What we want to do is we want to take a look at this particular move to start with. We have a pretty clear kind of just straight drop down. There's a little bit more 5 wavy towards the end there. So that looks like a fourth wave. That looks like a fifth. And then we'd have to have that as a wave 1. I don't think we meet the requirements for the impulsions. And no, we don't really. So that there can be a wave 1, but it would have to be corrective, not impulsive. Also kind of looks like it could be expanding to a point. If I pull a trend line there, and I put a trend line right in here, just see if I can expand this one up a little bit. Right in here, you can kind of see how it expands a little bit, but we're not too concerned about that one on this 15-minute chart. Let me go and remove those. Let's come back up into our daily, actually our hourly. And what we'll do is we'll kind of think of this as corrective coming down, but could be a wave 1. We'll look at this as a potential move up still. Could be looking for a little bit push up in here. So let's go ahead and check that. Okay, our expectations could be a little bit higher here. More on testing that 200 EMA on the hourly. So this would be around here. So 27,316 to 27,420. Yeah, I'd say that might be the probable solution here, that the wave 2 isn't yet done. And we do this, and we have a little micro correction right in here, like this, and we'll check that one as well, based on the low that we're currently sat at. Yeah, that puts us in a little bit of an overlap right there, but right on the 200 EMA down here, a little overlap with the bigger one. So this one is basically 27,293 to 27,378. Okay, so if I remove that, we can start to see that, okay, there's a high probability that within our structures here, that we still haven't finished this wave 2. I do think, though, looking at it, wave 4 is probably done. I don't think there's a need to kind of push up more than that. We're kind of losing the ability to kind of find the momentum here. So yeah, upward directional move. We might slip down a little bit here. If we come down lower than the swing low here at 26,852, then that would mean that these structures that I've just drawn out here are not valid. Okay, and the expectation of going up into these yellow boxes would be incorrect, and we would not expect to see that. Okay, so for the most part, we're looking to see and wait for confirmation. I think we're probably going to have to test that 200 EMA there, and that's currently sat at 27,297. So it does look like the next move, in my opinion, most probably is going to be a push upwards to grab that, but I'm not expecting it to go up higher than the swing highs, which I'm going to go and adjust up to here at 27,667. Sorry, 27,663. So yeah, so for the most part, that's what I expect to happen there. This here would then actually mark the completion of what might be a wave 2 out of, or should be a wave 2. It could be a wave 1, but I would expect it to be a wave 2. 1, 2, and then down in for 3. We might get an overlap within wave 1 and wave 4, and then down into that final 5th wave movement. We've got quite a journey to go, so I'm not expecting it to be like that, but we'll see how it kind of goes. Alternatively, the other thing that could be going on here is we have an A, B, C structure coming down, and then another A, B, C structure here. It's going to get very choppy if this is the case. We come down in these 3 wave movements, and we bounce around a little bit of an overlap on wave 4 and wave 1, and then we come down into our final zone, making this thing a an ending diagonal like this. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, see how that one kind of plays out. But for now, it is looking like it's in corrective structures rather than in impulsive structures. So we'll keep a close eye on it and see how it kind of plays out. But expectations still remain that we go down into that 5th wave low. Over to Smart Money Concepts. Smart Money Concepts is basically also showing us with our bearish outlook. If I just zoom out of this a second here, just zoom a little further back over here. In fact, if I zoom right further out, you can see that we're in the higher highs, higher lows situation, right, on a macro level. And we are looking at either coming down and testing this low trend line, or we're looking to break this trend line and continue to move down. It's an unpopular opinion because there are still a lot of bullish people out there, at least in the comment sections of the videos. But ultimately, a breakdown here is inevitable. We kind of see that we have a change of character from bullish to bearish. We have a break of structure to confirm our bearish state of play, another break of structure to confirm that we are still bearish, and then another one to confirm that we are still bearish. Okay, so on this hourly chart, things haven't changed. They are still remaining in a bearish state of play. Even though we pushed up a little ways here, it's still not enough to kind of constitute a change in the characterization of Bitcoin on the hourly chart. The fair value gap down here is at 26,508 through to 26,639. Expectation is that that will get filled out. You can see that there is a little bit of pocket of buying right in here, and we're finding that as a brief area of support. There's one down here. We also have a weak low. We've got the selling pressure right here as well, so you can see how we're coiling up here, and selling pressure right here. We also have equilibrium a little bit higher as well. Okay, so ultimately, when we take a look at this, we haven't got a lot of positivity. We are kind of getting ourselves sandwiched in though. Okay, so we obviously have our 200 EMA here, also below our 50 EMA at the moment. And the 50 EMA is below the 200 EMA, showing weakness within the price action, as in the short-term price action is lower than the long-term price action. Ultimately, I think Smart Money Concepts here tells us we should be expecting volatility, both within the fact that we haven't tested equilibrium, which is a possibility, which would basically allow that wave forward to just go a fraction higher. Although I'm not expecting that, it is still there on the radar and we should kind of think about it. We have basically kind of sandwiched ourselves in between the bears and the bulls and waiting for one to overpower the other. Now, if I come over to our Elliott wave theory for a second and take a look at our stochastics, we can see that the stochastic RSI on the hourly is showing that there is very little activity in terms of selling, but there is also very little activity in the way of buying as well. It shows pretty well balanced between the bears and the bulls, and this is an indication that there's a lack of interest in trading Bitcoin at the moment, at least on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, we're in an oversold position, so we can see a little bit of progression there to the upside if we needed to. The 8 hour still has a long way to go down. The 12 hour has a long way to go down. The 16 hour has a long way to go down. The 20 hour has a long way to go down. The daily has just come back up from the oversold area. And again, we should see a little bit of momentum and a little bit of a push to the outside on this one, but I'm not expecting it to happen right away. On the weekly time frame, we've still got quite a journey to the downside. And on the monthly, well, we've been progressing up quite heavily here. And that's a little bit of a worry. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how these things play out next. But for the most part, when we take a look at the stochastic RSIs, it is showing us with volatility to be expected in both directions. Expect short positions, short squeezes to kind of get, or short positions to get liquidated and short squeezes to occur. But the same for long positions as well. I don't think there's going to be a safe bet here if you're not on the right side of a trade. Now, just for clarity, my RSI source is 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗡, which is basically average positioning. So it takes the high position, the low position, the open position, the closed position, divides all of that by 4 to get the average price per candle, and then creates your RSI and stochastic RSI based on that. We do have that on the closed default positioning here, and it gives you a slightly different outlook here. You can see we've got a bit of a journey that's changed ever so slightly across these time frames, but for the most part, you're seeing very similar story nonetheless, and that monthly is also progressing up to overbought. Okay, so just know, depending on how your RSIs are set up, you may have different results than I have. I much prefer the 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗡, as that kind of gives you a better stochastic approach, in my opinion. I'm going to leave the video right there, though, guys. If you found it useful, informative, smash the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, out of the way, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to risk your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.